Andy Dalton's going to be starting for the Carolina Panthers this weekend against the Buffalo Bills. For some more inside, it's not inside, but it's what they told the media today about the Bryce Young injury that will turn the controls over to Andy Dalton. Here's Dave Canales on the latest on Bryce.
He's made progress every day, and we want to just keep our options open right now. Didn't want to rule him out. Just wanted to say, okay, we woke up today, feels better than he did yesterday. So tomorrow we'll move him around. We rested him pretty good today. He had 2 good days of work on that ankle. So we'll take a look at him again tomorrow, and then we'll make the best decision from there.
And then Bryce Young was asked about his availability and whether he can play, whether he wants to be out there, all those things.
Yeah, I haven't. Again, we're just taking it day by day, so haven't really gotten that far yet. But again, if I can play, I want to play. I'll be out there again. I, of course, do what's best for the team, and I'm gonna make sure that I trust in the training staff. But if there's any way that I can, I always want to. Again, it's a competitor in me. What I get to do for a living is a blessing. It's an honor. I don't take it for granted. So if I'm able to, then I definitely want to.
Now, after they talked to the media, there was more updating going on from team spokespeople and everything else. He was listed as doubtful, and word was brought from the team spokesperson that whether Bryce can go or not, Andy Dalton will start. So it's almost like if he's healthy enough, then he can be there as an emergency. But he took no snaps this week. He was not getting any of the reps within a practice. He was not even at many practices like wearing the dress of the day, meaning he wasn't in pads. If they were in pads, he was off to the side. So it's an Andy Dalton day on Sunday against the Bills. But I do think everything we just learned indicates there's a good chance Bryce for next week against the Packers is very much in play, if not likely. So we look towards the Bills with the understanding that it's an Andy Dalton day. What does that mean? How does the team change? I do think the team changes, right? I think the mobility of Bryce not being there is a big deal and might take a few plays out of the playbook, but I also think Andy Dalton's willingness and comfort cutting it loose on a deep ball changes the offense a little bit and maybe opens up a different part of the playbook for more likely to be called plays. But as I said earlier, and I'm going to continue to say, there are always like the opposite end of the spectrum, right? Like if Andy Dalton goes out there and throws 3 interceptions, then yes, the quarterback play mattered this weekend. If he goes out there and he has a throwback day and it feels like it's Andy Dalton and Mohamed Sanu and Gio Bernard and A.J. Green back in the midst of 5 consecutive playoff runs to the playoffs with Marvin Lewis coaching in the Bengals, and he throws for 320 and 3 touchdowns and he goes crazy, then yes, quarterback play mattered. I don't anticipate either of those things happening. And if it's anything in the middle, that's kind of what you're getting out of Bryce, right? Some games, some interceptions, some turnovers you don't like. Some games he plays efficient, but he throws for 185 yards. That's what you're getting out of Bryce. The way this season has gone, and that includes the wins, right? And they're on a nice old 3-game win streak, and they've won 4 of the last 5, and they're above 500. This little the uptick, it coincides not with like an absurd increase in quarterback play. It coincides with an absurd increase in everything making the quarterback's job easier play. Rico Dowdle running for 1 billion trillion yards. The defense and Derrick Brown hitting their stride in a way that makes it very difficult to run against. Do you know what's actually funny is it's spreading out from like the NFL nerddom, right? I know nobody cares about fantasy leagues, so I'm not going to tell you about like my fantasy team, but this is a story involving fantasy. My wife's family has a family fantasy league. Okay, so it's like cousins, aunts, uncles, that kind of deal. And of course, me and my wife have a team, and I do my best to like keep my nose out of it, and my wife just runs it, right? Her family, you live and die with your decisions in fantasy world. We have Keon Coleman's on the roster. And she was looking to decide if we should start Keon Coleman, and they tell you like the ranking of the opponent. You know, like if where it says versus Carolina, Carolina would be green if it's like, oh, they're terrible at pass defense, start people against this. And it would be red if it's like, oh, Carolina's a good defense, don't play people against this. And she was like, should I play Keon Coleman? And she looked down at her phone and she went, Carolina's good? Because in every year we've been in this fantasy league, it's been if you have an offensive player playing against Carolina, you're just like, all right, who are we taking out of the starting lineup to get this person in?
Yeah, especially if you had a running back the last couple of years, but not so much the case this year.
Now it's starting to spread. Fantasy numbers are starting to tell you to sit borderline starters against the Carolina Panthers. That's what's led to the win. So I'm looking at Andy Dalton, and you always say this to the backup quarterback. It's not always true. You say it anyway. Hey, you don't have to win it for us. Don't be Superman out there. Take what the defense is giving you. Be safe. Protect the football. Now, sometimes you say that to a player, and in the back of your head, you're going, well, actually, we probably need about 38, so we're going to tell you to be safe, and then we're going to call all the riskiest plays possible, and we're going to be calling play action deep balls, and we're going to have you running trick plays because we know we got to beg, borrow, and steal to keep up. The way the Panthers win this game is not by getting into a shootout with Josh Allen. The way the Panthers win this game is not by trying to out big play or out magic Josh Allen and James Cook and Keon Coleman and whoever else is out there. The way they win this game is the way they've been winning. Take a lot off the quarterback's plate. Rico Dowdle, Chuba Hubbard, Rico Dowdle, defense. Sam Martin, your reigning conference player of the week on special teams. Let the punter play the field position game. Then let the defense take over, which does play into our Panthers paw print coming up right here, right now on 99.9 The Fan. Panthers paw print brought to you by Wake Orthopedics, your winning team for orthopedic care, proudly serving the Triangle with multiple locations. Find yours at wakeortho.com. Once again, that's wakeortho.com. The reason why I say it transitions in is this. Panthers paw print portion of the show, that's right, fired up, where myself and Max will give you 2 key players each for the Carolina Panthers going into the weekend's matchup. I'll go first, you go second, I'll go third, you go fourth. My first is Trevin Wallace, linebacker, for the exact reason I just said. The offense can't be trusted to out-special Josh Allen. And oftentimes, the thing that lets Josh Allen be his most special is when he's shaking off tacklers, when he's running, when he's extending a play, when he's throwing as if he's falling out of bounds and somehow completing it 40 yards downfield. Trevin Wallace has some speed at that off-ball linebacker position. James Cook, also running back, special is when he makes that big jump cut and makes someone miss and then he can accelerate. Trevin Wallace is going to have to be a really, really, really sure tackler. When he gets there, it can't be I dove at Josh Allen's legs and he high-stepped out of it and then the crazy thing happened right after. You have to get those guys on the ground. I think Wallace is going to be a big part of it. Max, who's your first key player?
I'm going to go with Christian Rozeboom. Didn't get off to the best start this season. Looked like he was often lost in some coverages and struggled to wrap up and make tackles, but has progressed a good bit, and like most of the team, has kind of built up some momentum here over this little winning streak and has looked a little more confident out there. Continue what you're doing, stopping the run. It's been the story for this defense over the last couple of weeks, right? And they're averaging under 100 rush yards allowed per game now after the recent kind of surge of the rush defense. Just the progress of Rozeboom, keep it up. Don't let Josh Allen beat you, especially with his legs, because how versatile he can be. And just don't give up the middle of the field. So Christian Rozeboom would be my first player that we'll be watching here. The
irony of our 2 picks is, speaking of things that had nothing to do with the quarterback that led to these upticks in play, these wins, Rozeboom was what they call the green dot, which is the player with the radio in their helmet for defense. You get one player on offense, it's always the quarterback. You get one player on defense who the coaches can talk to in their helmet.
Yeah, and they flipped him and
Wallace. And what it did, according to the people that told us, because they both played much better after the switch happened. Roseboom got to play, quote, more free, right? All the responsibility of getting everybody lined up and everybody in the right thing maybe was slowing him down a little too much thinking, not enough running. And Wallace, on the other hand, kind of thrived with the knowing everything that was going on and having a little bit of extra responsibility. So, our two keys connected by the fact that they flipped and played a lot better. My next one, I'm going to the offensive side. Tepper McMillan. Andy Dalton as a backup quarterback might get confused. Now, he's a veteran, probably won't be super confused, but if he is, a little jump ball to Tepper McMillan is a nice conclusion there. I think and also Andy Dalton throws the deep ball quite a bit, and I'd like to see McMillan catch an over-the-shoulder one and run away from it for a touchdown. Now, if that doesn't happen, I don't think it's a problem, but I'd still really like to see it. So the number one wide receiver is where I'm looking.
My second player, I'll take one on offense as well. Kind of a sneaky one. I will go with the rookie tight end, Mitchell Evans. I'm not sure if you're aware, Sunday is National Tight Ends Day.
I was aware.
And last year on National Tight Ends Day, it felt like every tight end was getting in the end zone.
Oronde Gadsden already kind of got it going last night.
Oronde Gadsden got things started last night. Mitchell Evans has looked great, honestly, so far. He hasn't had too much action. I think they've done a good job of kind of sharing the reps at tight end. Tommy Tremble, Mitchell Evans, JT Sanders. But Mitchell Evans, as far as I've seen, especially in the run blocking game as well, and all the tight ends have been fairly good at this as well during this most recent win streak and seeing the success of the run game. They're doing a great job run blocking. Mitchell Evans already gotten in the end zone twice this year. I think Andy Dalton will hook up with him a couple times on Sunday, and he'll make his impact known, continue to have a good rookie campaign.
The advanced analytics love that guy. Mitchell Evans,
his PFF grades are off the charts.
They love that guy. Whatever he's doing, the film watchers and the equations absolutely love that guy. There you go. That is Panthers Paw Print, brought to you by Wake Orthopedics, your winning team for orthopedic care, proudly serving the Triangle with multiple locations. Find yours at wakeortho.com. That's WAKEORTHO.com.